The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you by Flow.
Tonight, the SLP's deputy political leader responds to speculation that the party will not contest the Castries Central and Castries North seats, but will rather throw support behind two independent candidates. Rufus Bousquet weighs in on rumors of Stephenson King's impending resignation from the United Workers' Party. And members of the public call for clarity on the issue of King's loyalty and the candidates slated to contest the next general election. The details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Wednesday, the 7th of July, 2021. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. I'm lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. There is much political intrigue playing out on the ground within constituencies and also within the top ranks of the two main political parties. Speculation is rife that a senior UWP member will cause a huge upset by defecting from the party and running as an independent candidate. The UWP has refused official comment but is now awaiting correspondence from Stephenson King, while the deputy political leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party has stated categorically to Hot 7 TV News that the SLP will unseat Alan Chastanet by any means necessary within the law. He has called on party supporters to trust the strategies that will be adopted by the party to secure an election win. Why has the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party not named candidates in the Castries Central and Castries North seats? The theory being bandied around is that the party will bank its hopes on two independent candidates capturing those seats from the ruling United Workers' Party. In an interview with Hot 7 TV News on Wednesday, the SLP's deputy political leader, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, made it clear that the SLP will employ whatever strategy it has to ensure that the Alan Chastanet-led administration does not retain power.
We have said to our supporters and our well-wishers, the number one priority, the guiding principle is removing Alan Chastanet from government. That's the number one objective. And we will do whatever is necessary within the confines of the law and what's permissible to remove the United Workers' Party from power. That is number one. The best way we can put the people first, the best way we can represent the people, the best way we can show the people we care is to be in government. And that is to make sure that United Workers' Party loses the government. And we will position ourselves where that can be done.
Dr. Hilaire says by nomination day, the way forward for the party will be clear to all. According to him, the party awaits a settling of the political dust that is currently being kicked up.
Speculation is rife that the party is not going to name candidates for Castries Central and Castries North, but rather allow Richard Frederick and Stephenson King to run as independents. Can you confirm or deny that that is the strategy?
Like I said, our number one principle is removing the United Workers' Party from power and winning the next general election. That's our number one principle. And we have a number of options before us. We have placed ourselves in a situation where we can exercise those options, and we are going to wait up to the appointed time for us to make our final decision.
Peter Wickham is one of the region's foremost political consultants and principal director of the leading Caribbean political research company, Caribbean Development Research Services, CADRIS. Speaking to Hot 7 TV News, he weighed in on the speculation. He says if the rumors are true, it could delve a huge blow to the UWP, or it could backfire on the SLP.
Having Stephenson King as an independent in a situation where the St. Lucia Labour Party does not contest against him does create a very interesting scenario. It certainly will be unprecedented in terms of understanding how the machinations of regional politics goes. But I think that the key thing in all of this is that there clearly has been somewhat of a conspiracy against the UWP. And it will be interesting to see how the voters in those constituencies read that, because you're looking at Stephenson King. This is a person who is serving minister within the UWP administration and clearly at the same time conspiring to bring down that government. The question is that something that persons are going to take lightly to, whether it could create a certain amount of resentment, but it's left to be seen.
Sources within the United Workers' Party say they have not received any official correspondence from Stephenson King on withdrawing from the party. The party says it is therefore unable to comment at this time. However, party officials say there will be a statement if and when King's resignation letter is sent in. A former UWP minister and often controversial political figure is weighing in on rumors that Stephenson King is poised to announce his resignation from the United Workers' Party. Stephenson King is the longest-serving member of the current United Workers' Party. He began his foray into politics in 1981 as the president of the UWP's youth arm. He entered the fray of elective politics in 1987. While no official resignation letter has been handed in by Stephenson King, political pundits surmise that his defection from the United Workers' Party could be political suicide, while others say the party may be the one to suffer. Does former UWP Minister Rufus Bousquet, who has his own checkered past with the party, think that the UWP will survive the next general election without King?
Well, it's a major political party. Perhaps the question should be what gives Stephenson King, if in fact the rumors that we're hearing are correct. The key question would be what makes him sufficiently confident that he can win an election without the United Workers' Party rather than the other way around. If he feels that way, then that, to my mind, is a serious indictment against the United Workers' Party.
The point has been made that King has brought a measure of stability, and some would argue a measure of goodwill toward the party due to what many say is his likability. Bousquet agrees.
To lose perhaps the longest standing current politician, sitting politician in the entire country, a man who has been a prime minister of the party, has probably served the party in every conceivable position. And I can perhaps attest to that more than anybody else. It would be difficult to see how him moving away from the party and contesting as an independent would not cause a major blow to the organization and to their chances of winning the next election. I think if he does that, certainly he has to know what the results or what the likely outcome of such a move would be. And so we need to anticipate for ourselves what is it that has frustrated him to the extent that he finds it necessary to take such a drastic action.
And that would actually be my next question. You've served with him for so long. You've known him for so long. Is there any insight that you can give us in terms of his history within the United Workers' Party that would drive him to make a decision or consider a decision like this at this time?
Lovely. Everything has its time. And if you do the right thing at the wrong time, you may not be successful even though you're doing the right thing. So until the gentleman actually announces that he's making such a move, I treat it as speculation. So I don't think that this is the time for me to go out there and say any more with respect to what, his rationale may be, etc., etc. I would prefer to allow this thing to play itself out because it may turn out to be nothing.
Rufus Bousquet promises that when he does speak out about politics, there will be much to see. He says for now, he's keeping a watchful eye on the political developments. Former Independent Senator Evristus Jamari speaks on the allegations surrounding Stephenson King. Jamari believes that for a long time, King has been dissatisfied with the UWP administration and that his alleged resignation is a culmination of that.
The allegiance of the incumbent MP for Castries North, Stephenson King, has been a contentious issue in the political arena. Rumors are swirling of King's impending resignation. While this may have caught some members of the public off guard, former Independent Senator Evristus Jamari says that for a long time he has noticed King's displeasure with the current UWP administration. I would not be surprised if King does indeed part ways with the UWP.
For some time now, I'm aware that he is very discontented. I think he has been on the face of it, looks like he's been treated very shabbily by the administration. Bearing in mind he was a former leader and a former prime minister. And I am not very surprised that he's probably now taken a position that he's no longer could stand with this group of individuals at the next general election and has chosen, as I have heard, to run as an independent.
Jamari insists that Stephenson King's political influence cannot be denied, and if the rumors are proven to be true, it will be disadvantageous to the United Workers' Party.
The question is, one cannot deny his popularity as a politician, perhaps the most popular politician in the island. And the polls will decide whether he had enough sway to run on his own and win as an independent, but time will tell. But for that to have happened at the time it is happening, it's a major blow to United Workers' Party, because I think at the last general election he was the impetus, provided them quite an impetus that carried them across the line. And it's quite ironic now that he's the one pulling back and will take them and leave them behind the line.
At this point, King has yet to make a public statement on the rumors of his resignation from the UWP. Reports suggest that he may make a televised statement on Thursday. Hot 7 TV News is following the developments closely. For the Hot 7 Nightly News, I am Kareem Nelson.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us, still to come. The National Green Party says the current political rancor may work out in its favor. Members of the public are gripped by the political intrigue and clamor for answers. And police take issue with the Prime Minister's statement that impasse is almost resolved. The details of these stories and more coming up after the break.
The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News was brought to you by Flow.